A shocking new development in the story of the Christmas Eve massacre in Covina, what a landlord is now demanding from some surviving family members. Plus,
if it wasn't for them and for my brother, maybe I would have been dead.
Police, neighbors, and firefighters move quickly to try and save people hanging from the windows of a burning building in South Los Angeles.
And the LA City Council agreeing to pay out the largest settlement of its kind to the victims of the May Day melee. Plus,
he was there, not moving at all.
An Orange County family now believes in miracles after their 3-year-old son survives a near-deadly incident in a backyard swimming pool. The Fox 11 Morning News at 6 o'clock begins right now.
Now, this is the Fox 11 Morning News.
And good morning to you, everyone. Welcome to the Fox 11 Morning News. I'm Lisa Breckenridge in for G. Martirez.
I'm Tony McEwing. Maria Quaban is telling us, oh boy, be prepared because the rain is moving in. Sometime this afternoon, right, Maria?
That's right. I think your morning commute will be okay, but certainly do not run out and wash your car today because you're going to be sorry. We're looking at some showers to move in this afternoon and the unsettled weather to continue for the next several days. So be prepared for that. Grab that umbrella as you head out because it may be dry where you are right now. It may not be dry later on this afternoon. Downtown LA, we are looking at afternoon rain. Temperatures cooling down big time today, only in the 60s for most spots, even at the beach. Not too bad in terms of temperatures right now because of the cloud cover. It is cloudy outside, temperatures in the upper 50s at the moment, but this afternoon it's not going to get much warmer than that, only in the 60s. Valleys in the Inland Empire, good morning to you. It is 54 degrees there. This afternoon it will warm to only 63 degrees with showers in the forecast. So we've got rain coming. I've been watching the Sky Tracker radar. The greens are starting to show up just to our north, and some of that rain will be working in here sometime probably around lunchtime for Ventura County, and then it'll work its way southward to LA and Orange County. So 65 degrees today, even cooler tomorrow, 62. Unsettled weather will continue through Saturday. A chance for thunderstorms. Strong gusty winds are already blowing out of the south through the mountains, so watch out for that. And also a winter storm advisory in effect for the mountains at about 10 o'clock this morning to 10 tomorrow. So we've got unsettled weather through Saturday, I think a break on Sunday, and then another chunk of energy bringing us another chance for rain on Monday. So relatively dry out there this morning. Let's check for sure. Let's go up to Sky Fox with Rick Dickert. Good morning, Rick. No rain yet, right?
That's right, Maria. Dry down below, and we are watching this problem. Not rain-related, obviously. One lane blocked here on the 101 eastbound just before the 405 coming through Encino. We've set up some flares down below, but traffic is really backing up. Look at the backup all the way into Tarzana now as you make your way east on the 101 towards that 405 freeway. Expect some delays. You might want to think about picking up Ventura Boulevard if you're leaving home now, because this is the backup you're going to have to deal with. Real-time traffic system showing some more slowing in Diamond Bar. 60 westbound at Diamond Bar Boulevard. Carpool lane taken away there due to a stall. And you can see speeds are down to just 23 miles an hour. And we'll finish off with the traffic camp 5 at Alameda. Northbound inbound side coming at us. Looking good there. Dry, but further north, Interstate 5 up towards Gorman. No wet weather yet, but it'll likely arrive in the next few hours, so be careful. Tony, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. More turmoil this morning for the surviving members of the family killed in the Christmas Eve massacre in Covina. The landlord of one of the women killed is suing the family, saying that they owe him unpaid rent and fees since her death. Rick Lozano, who is live in Upland, we don't know all of the facts of this case, but on its face, at least, it doesn't look good. Good morning.
And that's absolutely accurate. Tony and Lisa, good morning, everybody. So far, the Broadstone apartment complex here in Upland has not commented on this stories, but it's one of those cases which, if true, has a lot of people outraged. You certainly remember the tragedy of Christmas Eve past. 9 members of one family massacred during a party in Covina. The victims were shot before the house was set on fire. Survivors of that horrible event now trying to put the shattered pieces of their lives back together, but now this. An apartment complex, the Broadstone, attempting to collect money from the estate of one of the victims. Alice Ortiz lived in the apartment with her son and 2 daughters. She and son Michael died during the Christmas Eve incident, leaving her 2 daughters behind. Well, the girls moved out of the apartment, but the complex now wants to collect more than $2,800 for, quote, insufficient notice to vacate. As you can imagine, family members are outraged, saying the management company knew the girls would have to move. They can't believe the lack of compassion shown so far. But according to a lawyer for the Ortega family, the apartment complex has said it is within its rights to collect the back rent. Our attempts to reach apartment officials have not been successful so far, and in the meantime, the two Ortega girls have moved in with their father in Ontario. We're live in Upland this morning. Lisa and Tony, that's the story from here. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, Rick, thank you. Some South LA residents so thankful to be alive after barely escaping from their burning apartment building. Suzanne Marquez joins us live from the scene with the very latest on this very close call. Good morning to you, Suzanne.
Good morning, Lisa. Indeed, it was a close call. The fire department is only a block away from here, but thankfully a Good Samaritan and a police officer were nearby. Now, let me show you what the building looks like. On the first floor, there are businesses, but on the second floor, it's all apartment units. There are a lot of bars on the windows, so it may have been very confusing for some folks. Maybe they got stuck inside, but they were hanging out the windows at some points, hoping to be rescued. Now, Sky Fox was overhead as the fire poured from the top of the building. 14 children and adults were inside of their units at the time, and thanks to the help of somebody who spotted the fire and saw people hanging out of their windows, he found a ladder and he put it against some of the windows, brought some families to safety, specifically Hugo Alonso. He suffered burns to his neck when his ceiling started to collapse on him.
I was right there and screaming for help when a guy told me, just hang in there, we're gonna bring a ladder. We just got down. My brothers, I told them to go first.
I went out to the hall, and then I started smelling smoke. And then I just told my brother, knocked on my sister's door to wake her up, and then just came down from the ladder.
So thank you. If it wasn't for them and for my brother, maybe I would have been dead.
Now, this poor little cat here, it's hard to even see this video for me. I'm a cat owner. She was singed with her fur and she suffered smoke inhalation. Though firefighters say she's going to be okay, 2 dogs also died in the fire. Now, firefighters got here quickly. They had the fire knocked down in a little over 20 minutes, but it was just such a fast-moving fire. We still don't know how it broke out, if it broke out in a unit or in one of the businesses underneath here at the corner of Central and 33rd Streets. Reporting live, I'm Suzanne Marquez. I'll send it back to you, Lisa and Tony.
All right, Suzanne, thank you. The Securities and Exchange Commission gets a tongue lashing on Capitol Hill for failing to catch Bernard Madoff.
And instead of telling us anything, you read from the preamble of your mission statement and broke it up into 5 segments. What the heck went on?
New York Congressman Gary Ackerman's tirade yesterday coming after testimony by a fraud investigator. Harry Markopoulos says he first warned the SEC about Madoff's alleged Ponzi scheme nearly 10 years ago, but the agency ignored him.
One guy with a few friends and helpers discovered this thing nearly a decade ago, led you to this pile of dung that is Bernie Madoff, and stuck your nose in it, and you couldn't figure it out. You couldn't find your backside with 2 hands if the lights were on.
Well, a court has released the entire list of Madoff's alleged victims. Among the thousands of names are former Dodger great Sandy Koufax and actors Kevin Bacon, Kira Sedgwick, and John Malkovich. You can have a look at the entire list on our website, myfoxla.com.
President Obama has set a $500,000 pay cap on CEOs of companies that receive future federal bailout money.
For top executives to award themselves these kinds of compensation packages in the midst of this economic crisis isn't just bad taste, it's bad strategy, and I will not tolerate it as president.
These are the same CEOs that are now earning millions of dollars. The plan is not retroactive, so unfortunately it won't affect Bank of America, AIG, Citigroup, GM, or Chrysler. In another move, the president is expanding health care to 4 million children.
In a decent society, there are certain obligations that are not subject to trade-offs or negotiations, and health care for our children is one of those obligations.
The president also signed into law a bill expanding the state children's health insurance program known as S-CHIP to cover an additional 4 million children. The cost funded by an increase in the tobacco tax.
7 minutes after 6 right now, the Academy Award-winning actress who misplaced her Oscar, she is nominated again this year. I'm sure she'll hang on to it this time around if she wins.
It's understandable what happened, though.
Yeah, it is.
Plus, a horse trapped up to its neck in a frozen pond. Oh, my goodness. The rescuers move in. We'll tell you what happened.
Well, let's hope there was a happy ending.
I'm assuming there was. I would hope
so.
You never know.
Fox 11 News is sponsored by Sizzler, where America comes to eat.
Emergency crews rescue a horse trapped in a frozen pond in northern Kentucky. The horse's owner isn't sure exactly how Pencil ended up neck deep in the pond. He figures Pencil was probably there for about 4 hours. It took a crew of firefighters and volunteers from an animal rescue team and a tractor to pull Pencil from the pond. There we go. To everyone's surprise, Pencil was up and walking within a minute. And good news is he's expected to make a full recovery.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Big Brother is watching, and Big Brother's name is Google. Google's new Latitude can track anyone, anywhere in the U.S. and 26 other countries through cell phones and other mobile devices. It relies on cell phone towers, GPS, and Wi-Fi connections. Google says users will be able to turn off the software. The software will first be available on some BlackBerry and Microsoft devices and T-Mobile phones with Google software. Eventually, though, it will include the iPhone and iTouch.
Yeah, so remember all those movies and all the programs from way back? They were right, that they could keep track of you.
It's a little scary, actually.
It is.
2 minutes after 6 right now.
A man in big trouble after allegedly conducting a drug deal during a 911 call. We're going to hear the wild recording plus.
Well, we'll tell you how the so-called bikini girl did without her bikini last night on American Idol.
Here with your Thursday morning beach and surf report. The temperatures have been up, but the surf has been down. Now the temperatures are dropping and the surf's going up. We have a building west and northwest swell. That swell will fill in throughout the day. Right now, conditions are still kind of on the smaller side, 1 to 2 feet up at Topanga. Maybe some 3-foot sets coming in at Huntington and down towards Trestles. We're coming off a high tide that occurred just after 5 this morning and heading towards a minus low tide at 12:45. Winds are out of the east to southeast offshore. So it is clean and glassy. Some pretty big surf over the weekend with this low pressure system affecting us. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Rick, thanks so much. A Cleveland man called 911 for help, but ended up being arrested instead. Alejandro Melendez called 911 because he claimed 2 men with guns were following him. But he put the dispatcher on hold to conduct a drug deal, and the operator heard the whole thing.
I'm right here on right by the pit stop. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sir. What you need, 10 cents? You need 10 cents? All right. 75.
Yeah, he's in front of the pit stop doing a drug exchange.
See, a 10-pack is slang for heroin. Yeah.
Well,
Police sent a car, not to get the 2 men with the guns that he said were following him, but to pick him up in the exact spot that he made his call from.
Stupid, stupid, stupid.
Again, I say, Officer Rick Quintero, sometimes it's the stupidity of criminals that gets them in trouble more than you guys being able to catch them.
It definitely is. They give themselves away all the time. Hey, good morning, Tony and Lisa. We've got a couple of incidents slowing you down through the San Gabriel Valley. Some reduced speeds on the 60 freeway, West 60 at Diamondbar. We had an earlier stalled vehicle. West 10 at Pacific, there's a crash there. 3 vehicles are on the right shoulder, but some definitely reduced speeds heading west on the 10 and the 60 as you head towards 605. 60 at Main heading out of the Inland Empire. Overall traffic not looking too bad here. Further up, East 60 at Haven. There's a stalled Big Rig blocking the right lane. Watch for that and drive safely. Tony and Lisa, back to you.
Officer Rick, thank you. After being closed for nearly a year, Disney's It's a Small World reopens tomorrow. The popular ride shut down for renovations after realizing we really weren't living in such a small world anymore. When the ride was built in 1964, America was a much thinner country. But over the years, the tiny boats routinely bottomed out under the weight of heavier riders. Disney has updated the ride now with bigger boats, heftier boats, and they've also deepened the waterway by 1 inch.
Oh, I was there at Christmas time when they had it all decorated for Christmas, and it's so much fun. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Bikini girl, also known as Katrina Darrell from Chino Hills, made it to Hollywood on American Idol, but apparently she decided to sleep instead of rehearse.
You know you got me on my knees, and I'm begging, please. Ooh, ooh, da, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. I was in heels since 5 in the morning, and then I was up till 3, and then I have scoliosis, and I was sitting on the floor, and my back was hurting.
You wanted to go to bed because you were in high heels all day, and didn't give these girls enough time to rehearse.
Katrina, please step forward. Oh my God, look at her. She just totally posed. I'm sorry, but you are not through to the next round. Jasmine, you're staying in LA.
Oh, and she's the baby there of the group. Idol returns Tuesday with the solo rounds. Well, if Angelina Jolie wins an Oscar for her role in Changeling later this month, it won't be joining her other statue, at least not for now. That's because Jolie has no idea where her first Oscar is. You know, she won Best Supporting Actress back in 1999 for her role in Girl Interrupted. Jolie says she gave the statue to her mom, who hid it away. But, you know, her mom died 2 years ago after a long battle with cancer, and no one knows where she put the statue. Jolie is up against Anne Hathaway, Kate Winslet, Melissa Leo, and Meryl Streep in this year's Best Actress category. The late night guys have suggestions for everything from a tax plan for Tom Daschle to contraception for the rest of us.
And that woman here in California just had the 8 kids and has 6 more at home. Well, today, Tom Daschle proposed to her. He's not in love. He just needs the deductions. Yeah.
Job market is shrinking. My personal stock portfolio is shrinking. I'll tell you, the only thing that's getting bigger now is Jessica Simpson.
Boom! In Colorado, police are looking for a man who robbed 2 7-Eleven stores armed with a Klingon sword. Yeah, I'm not sure what he stole, but it wasn't condoms. I'll tell you that much right now.
Maria, it was a bad angle and inappropriate jeans.
Yeah, it wasn't so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're running out the door, make sure you grab that umbrella because it may not be raining where you are right now, but it probably will be this afternoon. We're looking at showers to move in right around lunchtime. 65 degrees today, much cooler than yesterday. As we look at a storm system, one of a couple of storm systems, actually, you can kind of see it spinning here just off the coast counterclockwise. You can see already some showers falling through northern and central California. As we take a closer look, zooming in, you can see rain now beginning to fall through parts of Santa Barbara County, and it'll probably make its way down to Ventura County in just the next few hours, and then eventually to LA and Orange County this afternoon. So your morning drive will probably be dry, but this afternoon could be a wet one. Yesterday, 80 degrees again. We thought we would break the streak, but it was the 15th day in a row we've had temperatures above 80 or above, and since January 1st, we've only had about 1/3 of an inch of rain, so we desperately need the rain, and we're going to get it, it looks like, over the next several days. So rain this afternoon through Friday and Saturday, chance for thunderstorms with the unstable air moving in, also some snow expected for our local mountains and resorts. So great news, we do have a winter storm advisory already in effect, so if you're planning to travel up to the mountains this weekend, bring your snow chains. All right, that's your wet weather. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Maria. Appreciate it. We go over to Bill Handel at KFI right now. And Bill, it seems like, at least at this point, you are absolutely correct. Instead of inspiring a multi-million-dollar book or television deal, this woman of the octuplets seems to have only inspired the ire of the public.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, Octomom, as she is now being known as, and pejoratively, I might add, it has handled it completely wrong. And we're finding out more and more. It looks like she has been on some kind of aid for years and years, state aid, whether it's disability, whether it's welfare. They're trying to figure it out. They know about the disability payments, and there's also some talk out there about some additional payments, and they're looking into it. But the way she has handled it, hiring the PR hacks to sell her story, refusing to talk about the infertility treatment, refusing to talk about the identity or the non-identity of the, quote, the sperm donor dad. I mean, this whole thing just smells to high heaven. And what you had is really a medical miracle. 8 embryos taking and 8 healthy babies being born as a result of that at one time. I mean, that is a 1 in a zillion chance.
Well,
but how it was handled and how it's been perceived couldn't be more of a disaster.
And the health of it, we really don't know, because with babies who are born prematurely, as I know, you don't know. And if they're going to be there for a couple weeks, months, whatever, we really don't know.
They're saying they're healthy kids. And I'm assuming, I'm taking Kaiser at their word, that you've got some pretty healthy kids. Now, whether developmental problems happen later on, chances are pretty high that these kids are not going to come out as healthy as singletons or twins would.
And it turns out that she had this treatment, which ended up with her being pregnant with these 8 embryos and these 8 babies now, with a settlement of some $250,000, which some would say could have been used perhaps to take care of the kids she already had.
There is so much to this story. We're finding out that a doctor did this in America, and I had come on and said there's no doctor I know, and I've been in this field for almost 30 years in the field of third-party reproduction. So I know virtually all of the doctors who do in vitro fertilization. I know the reproductive endocrinologists. Every doctor was fuming, going crazy. Who is nuts enough to put 8 embryos into what appears to be a healthy 33-year-old woman who has a history of childbirth? It is in violation of all the rules and the guidelines of the American Society of Reproductive Medicine.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this makes sense at all.
Definitely, Bill. We could talk to you so much longer. We do have to go. Bill Handel, KFI.
But this story is not going anywhere.
No.
All right, Bill, take care.
Okay.
6:22 right now.
Why we could wind up seeing great summertime airfare deals at LAX.
Oh boy, love that.
Tony, Jean, Lisa, and Maria making news at noon. Live up to the minute weather, traffic, and breaking news. Fox 11 News at noon, every weekday.
That giant economic stimulus package working its way through Congress has grown even larger overnight. It has now edged closer to $1 trillion. Doug Luzader is in Washington, D.C. with more on that this morning. And Doug, a lot of people warned that that is exactly what would happen. Good morning.
Yeah, Tony, good morning. Democrats in the Senate are
right now.
Now, this is the Fox 11.
See, the mother of those octuplets born in Bellflower were live exactly outside the hospital, along with lots of other camera crews. The Fox 11 Morning News at 6:30 begins right now.
Now, this is the Fox 11 Morning News.
It's already been made clear she's not coming out the front door of the hospital.
No, and there are numerous doors.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fox 11 Morning News at 6:30. I'm Tony McEwen.
I'm Lisa Breckenridge in for G. Martires and Maria. When exactly can we pinpoint is this rain coming?
Oh, right at about 4. Come on.
I want to know.
Everybody text messages me that. Hey, what time exactly so I know when to get on the road? Well, I can tell you this. It is dry outside right now, but we are looking at the rain to start falling sometime around lunchtime, perhaps earlier if you're up near Ventura County. But you can bet on it will be raining later on this afternoon into this evening. The morning drive, if you're heading out the door, grab that umbrella. It's dry right now, so get your running around done with before the rain starts. And the unstable weather will continue throughout the rest of the night and into the weekend. At the beach, it is currently in the upper 50s. A gorgeous morning, actually. Take a look at that. The colors out there as the sun is beginning to rise. This afternoon, temperatures aren't going to warm up very much, only in the 60s. Valleys in the Inland Empire, good morning to you. Temperatures in the low 50s right now, getting up into the low 60s later on this afternoon. We're looking at about 65 degrees for downtown LA. It will be wet for your evening commute, more than likely, and then it will continue on through tomorrow morning and possibly into late Saturday. So 65 today, even cooler tomorrow, 62. So we go from above average to well below the average in terms of temperatures. We get a little bit of a break, I think, late Saturday into Sunday, and then Monday a chance for more rain to head our way. The good news with this system is it will be bringing us some snow. It looks like several inches for our local resorts, with snow levels dropping to near 5,000 feet by late tomorrow. All right, let's check your morning roads now, see if they're still dry. Let's go up to Rick Dickert in Sky Fox. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Maria. Definitely dry out there. Not a whole lot working. Good news, that earlier wreck on the 101 eastbound approaching the 405 has been cleared. Still a little slowing coming out of Tarzana. Not too bad here, though. 10 at Soto and Boyle Heights looking good. And again, the freeways are all dry out there. 405 Euclid, southbound side coming at us. One of our Orange County traffic cams starting to load up on that southbound side as it typically does. Tony, Lisa, this is not a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. This is our view from Sky Fox. What a morning. Back to you guys.
Absolutely beautiful. Thanks so much. Appreciate that, Rick. More turmoil this morning for the surviving members of that family killed in the Christmas Eve massacre in Covina. The landlord of one of the women killed is suing the family, saying that they owe him unpaid rent and fees since her death. Rick Lozano is live in Upland now with that story, and a lot of people are upset about this. Rick, good morning.
Certainly, Tony and Lisa, good morning, everybody. And so far, the Broadstone Foothills apartment homes here in Upland isn't commenting on this case, but it's certainly one of those stories which, if accurate, has a lot of people outraged. Now, you certainly remember the tragedy that occurred on Christmas Eve. 9 members of one family massacred during a party in Covina. The victims shot before the house was set on fire. Survivors of that horrible event are now trying to put the shattered pieces of their lives back together. But now this. An apartment complex, the Broadstone, is attempting to collect money from the estate of one of the victims. Alice Ortiz lived in the apartment with her son and 2 daughters. She and son Michael died during the Christmas Eve attack, leaving her 2 daughters behind. Now, the girls moved out of the apartment, but the complex now wants to collect more than $2,800 for, quote, insufficient notice to vacate. Now, as you can imagine, family members are outraged, saying the management company knew the girls would have to move. They can't believe the lack of compassion shown so far, but according to a lawyer for the Ortega family, the apartment complex has said it is within its rights to collect the back rent. Our attempts to reach apartment officials have not been successful as yet. In the meantime, Ortega's 2 daughters have since moved in with their father in Ontario. We're live in Upland this morning. Lisa and Tony, that's it from here. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, Rick, thank you. A reward up to $25,000 is being offered to help catch a bank robber who kidnapped a teller in Orange County. Police say the suspect abducted the pregnant teller at gunpoint from her home on January 27th. He then ordered her to drive to a Bank of the West in Anaheim where she worked and made her take the money. The robber grabbed the cash and then took off. Anyone with information is asked to call Anaheim Police or the FBI.
And Los Angeles has agreed to pay nearly $13 million to victims of the May Day melee. Amy Murphy is live at City Hall with more on that. Amy, good morning.
Good morning, Tony. That's right. This settlement covers 300 cases stemming from that chaotic day nearly 2 years ago now. We have come to know as the May Day melee. Now, that's when a mostly peaceful immigration protest turned violent when a small group of protesters started throwing rocks and bottles. Police responded with force using batons and rubber bullets. The LA City Attorney says had the cases gone to trial, they could have ended up costing taxpayers nearly $30 million. Each plaintiff will receive anywhere from $10,000 to $300,000, depending on their injuries. But one plaintiff says money can't restore what he lost that day, and that is respect for the police.
For me, forgive me the word, but the way that they act is stupid. Because in front of the cameras, in front of the media, in front of everybody, they start hitting the kids. I was not there to make money. I have a job and I know how to make money.
This is a really fair settlement. It's fair to the plaintiffs. It's fair to the taxpayers of this city. It's a lot less than would have been paid out if the mayor and the city council hadn't stepped up.
Now, even though those cases have been settled, 20 other suits, mostly journalists, including 2 Fox 11 staffers, have yet to settle. For now, we're live in Los Angeles, outside City Hall. Amy Murphy, back to you.
Okay, Amy, thank you. A 3-year-old boy is recovering this morning after his father found him floating face down in a pool. Orange County Bureau Chief Al Naipo has the story from San Clemente.
And I was thinking to myself, this is not happening. This needs to just go away. It's not happening.
Amy Rex of San Clemente describing the moment she discovered her 3-year-old son Alexander had fallen into a neighbor's backyard pool. Older brother Preston found him.
It was like, go out to the pool and check if your little brother's there. And so I went, and then he was there, not moving at all.
Dad jumped in and pulled him out.
2 hands and shoulders above the water and a head below, and he's floating on top of the water. And he's really blue, dead, lifeless body.
Mom and others began CPR. Paramedics arrived and rushed Alexander to the hospital, where he stayed for 2 days.
Morning pool and got in trouble.
Alexander remembers very little. Doctors say he appears fine. It's unknown how long he was in the pool, which was only 3.5 feet deep. The family was celebrating Super Bowl Sunday at a nearby friend's home. It wasn't a pool party.
Just in the past few months, 7 of them near and drowning situations. They don't know.
The Rex family learned a very valuable lesson.
Just you can't take your eyes off your little ones. I mean, and especially if there's water anywhere nearby, it's your responsibility. And that.
There have been 4 recorded drownings in Orange County since November.
And a close call for tenants trapped in a burning apartment building. People hanging out of windows trying to escape the flames. Suzanne Marquez is live in South Los Angeles with the very latest for us this morning. Suzanne, good morning.
Good morning, Tony. Indeed, a scary night for the people who live in this apartment complex. Fortunately, everybody who lives here did get out safely. Now, the first floor is businesses, but up on the second floor, you can see that it is gutted. It's charred. There's bars on the windows, so maybe people weren't able to get out that quickly. Certainly, there were people trapped inside, hanging out the windows, hoping to be rescued. Sky Fox was overhead as the fire was pouring from the roof of the building. 14 children and adults were inside their units at the time. Thanks to the help of a good Samaritan who was just walking across the street and saw people crying for help, he got a ladder and helped people escape. We also hear a police officer was also nearby and helped him as well. Now, this was all before firefighters arrived. Now, Hugo Alonso, who you're going to hear from first, suffered burns to his neck when the ceiling inside of his unit started to collapse on him.
I was right there and screaming for help. When a guy told me, just hang in there, we're going to bring a ladder. We just got down. My brothers, I told them to go first.
I went out to the hall, and then I started smelling smoke. And then I just told my brother, knocked on my sister's door to wake her up, and then just came down from the ladder.
So thank you. If it wasn't for them and for my brother, maybe I would have been dead.
Now, this little cat, she's singed and she suffered smoke inhalation, but firefighters do say that she's going to be okay. Unfortunately, 2 dogs died in the fire. Now, once firefighters got here, they had it knocked down. Then less than a half hour, it's just a block away from here, so certainly they responded quickly. It just engulfed this building so quickly. Right now, they're trying to determine where the fire started, if it started on the first floor or the second inside one of the units. And as for how it started, that's still under investigation. Reporting live out here, I'm Suzanne Marquez. Send it back to you.
Okay, Suzanne, thank you. Some good news this morning on the housing front. The U.S. Senate has approved a plan giving a tax break up to $15,000 to people buying a home this year. That doubles the $7,500 credit under current law. The $19 billion proposal was added to President Obama's massive economic recovery bill yesterday. Under the program, people would be able to claim the credit on their 2008 tax returns, and it would apply to any home purchased for 1 year after the recovery plan becomes law.
An airfare war at LAX could bring you cheaper prices for summer travel. JetBlue Airlines started offering a ticket between LAX and Boston or New York for just $105 one way. With taxes and fees, that means you can get to the East Coast and back for just $231. But not to be outdone, Virgin American started offering tickets from LA to Boston for the same $105 price tag. They're also offering tickets between John Wayne Airport and San Francisco for just $49 each way.
Wow. Good prices there.
Every recession has its upside.
There are ups and downs to all of this that we're going through right now.
Well, we've got an upside, but depending on how you want to look at it in the weather, because we do need the rain. So the upside is we're going to get to add some water to our rain bucket. We're well below the average right now, but the bad side is I think your afternoon commute, your drive home will be a wet and slow one. Right now, it's fairly dry outside. Sky Tracker showing you the bulk of the rain falling now up through northern and central California, now rounding that Point Conception, rain falling through parts of Santa Barbara County. So that means Ventura County will be getting in some of that action here in the next couple of hours. We are expecting LA County down to Orange County, some rain probably right around lunchtime. So that's kind of the time frame right now, depending on how quickly the cold front moves in during the next couple of hours. At the beach, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s, really everywhere. Countywide, we're looking at temperatures really only in the 60s, with lots of cloud cover and showers throughout the rest of the day and into tonight. Lots of unstable air moving in with this system, so a chance for some thunderstorms as well later on this afternoon. We do have a winter storm advisory in effect for our mountains. Strong gusty southerly winds also through the mountains right now. 63 degrees today for the valleys in the Inland Empire. 59 tomorrow. Look at Saturday, 57. We're looking at about anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain before this whole rain event is over, and about 6 to 12 inches perhaps of snow for a local resort, so great news. At the beach, we're looking at temperatures cooling down to the 50s as well. So be careful out there as you drive home this afternoon, also tomorrow.
Good advice. All right, Maria, thank you.
You're welcome.
Historic, shocking, this new medical breakthrough. Doctors removing a kidney from a woman in a way that's never been done before. Plus,
in today's Lisa's LA, the delicious, unique dishes you'll find at a relaxing new hotel in West Hollywood. In the morning checkup, for the first time ever, a transplant Removal of a kidney through a woman's vagina. Now, we do want to warn you that some of this video is very graphic. It shows doctors in surgery at Johns Hopkins Medical Center in Baltimore. Surgeons took out 48-year-old Kimberly Johnson's kidney to donate to her niece. Doctors say taking the kidney out through the vagina is less painful, and it actually cuts recovery time in half to about 2 weeks. A scar from a previous gallbladder surgery is much larger than any marks left from the transplant. So far, Johnson's niece is doing well.
In today's Lisa's LA, we're going inside the new Andaz Hotel in West Hollywood, showing you some of the unique dishes from their French-trained chef. Formerly the Hyatt, the Andaz Hotel in West Hollywood is one of the newest places to stay and eat.
Here we have no front desk. We welcome guests in the lounge. We can check you in as we walk to your room.
Guests can see all of LA from the hotel's rooftop pool lounge. But if you just want to bite into some good food, check out RH, tucked inside Andaz.
You can see the open kitchen with the chefs working around the kitchen. It's almost like a home.
You can build your own salad or sandwich from the restaurant's market list.
You can just mark on the paper which items you like, and the chef will put together a plate with the ingredients that you have chosen.
The chef uses only the freshest ingredients to make the shrimp ceviche.
Avocado, shrimps, red onion, some jalapenos, lemon juice.
Served on a puff pastry, the mushroom tart roasted with garlic, chicken broth, and parsley is also a popular dish with customers. Okay, that looks good. Again, not enough food for Tony, but just fine for me. The rooftop lounge is for hotel guests only, but anyone can eat at the restaurant. More information, go to myfoxla.com. LA traffic could actually be a bit more challenging today as hundreds of people march from downtown LA to the Federal Building in Westwood. They'll be marching in support of the Employee Free Choice Act, which makes it easier for workers to join unions. Supporters want Congress to pass the bill. The 10-mile march begins at 10 with a rally scheduled at 5 p.m. at the Federal Building.
All right, 6:45. Britney Spears allegedly in a panic over what was just stolen from her home. Dorothy Lucy has that when we come back. The media frenzy surrounding the mother of the octuplets born in Bellflower is certainly not dying down. Anything but, in fact. Camera crews are posted all around the hospital hoping to catch a glimpse of her as she leaves. Bob DeCastro is at the hospital in Bellflower with details for us this morning. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Tony. We know this much. She's not going to be coming out through the front door, not going to be discharged out and going through the front door. That, according to the publicist, one of the few things the publicist telling the media, who is camped out not just at this hospital, but also at her house in Whittier, probably going to go out through a private entrance, and there are so many entrances here, so difficult to tell which one that will be. We're also hearing from our own sources that that floor we've been telling you about, where she's resting, a lot of security up there as well. There are signs on that floor telling employees if you take a picture, you will be terminated. Now, the publicist also confirmed that Suleiman, Nadia Suleiman, the mother, is receiving negative comments, but also she's receiving offers for help, including from the nurses here at this hospital and from some stores, although they're not specific about that. And they say despite the criticism surrounding this unemployed, unmarried mother of now 14 children, they continue to say once you hear her story, once you see her, you're going to be impressed.
We hope people will exercise patience and give her an opportunity to tell her story. And I think when the world does hear her side of it, they'll be very favorably impressed. She's very bright, very good sense of humor, and a real grounded individual. And I just would say give her her shot and then make up your mind.
In the meantime, reporters are digging up more information, more details and reports coming out about the money that Suleiman received from workers' compensation. Of course, she'll receive money either from the insurance company or from her employer. First filed in 1999 working at a mental hospital, and then 2 years later she filed a second claim for an auto accident that she got into while commuting for medical treatment. She apparently hurt her neck, back, and shoulders. And then last year, the State Division Workers' Compensation asked Suleiman to attend a medical examination, and that's the last the public records do disclosed. We're also hearing that the publicist telling us that no news is good news here. The doctor's pretty much saying that status quo for the babies. The publicist saying that the babies will be released or should be discharged within the next 6 to 12 weeks. A very large time frame, but 6 to 12 weeks is what they're saying. That's the latest from Bellflower. Bob DeCastro, Lisa, and Tony, back to you.
And as we know, Bob, that is a very expensive hospital stay. You would know that.
We were 3 weeks, and so expensive, Dorothy. I can't even tell you when the kids were in NICU. So I can't imagine 8 babies over 3 months. So
millions of dollars.
Millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Hospital costs for sure. All right, Dorothy.
I'll just sit here and nod.
Yes.
Since I'm in the nodding shot.
Okay, Brittany.
With my hair in my eyes. Yes?
Brittany in a panic, right?
Brittany, oh my gosh. Who stole the diaries? Was it you two? Somebody stole Brittany's diaries. And I thought we knew everything there was to know about Brittany, but apparently there is some good stuff in those diaries that were stolen. Also, 2 cat fights, not 1, but 2 cat fights for you. And on Idol last night, Bikini Girl wore clothes, and that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Wearing clothes does not work
Apparently.
for her.
Less is more with her, I think.
A lot
All
less.
right, Dorothy, thanks a lot. People actually paid attention to her singing. 6:51 right now.
Never good, Maria.
Yeah, imagine that. Hey, you guys, it's going to be kind of a wet day this afternoon and into this evening. Your morning drive this morning, however, still kind of dry. So good news. Grab that umbrella as you head out the door because we are looking at some rain this afternoon. 65 degrees is the high temperature we're looking at, so well below the average now. Certainly a different day from yesterday. Yesterday was 80 degrees. Again, the 15th day in a row we've had temperatures of 80 or above. And in terms of rain, we've only had about 1/3 of an inch of rain so far this year. So we definitely need the rain. We're well below the average. And this first of a couple of systems I'm watching is going to be bringing us a little bit of rain. Already some rain falling through parts of northern central California and rain already falling through Santa Barbara County. So we're going to get in on some of that action here over the next several hours. Also watching another system behind this one, which could bring us more rain and also some snow for our local mountains. Look at the high temperatures today. Big difference, only in the 60s. Also 62 in San Bernardino, up at Big Bear 42. So great news for local resorts as we look for about 4 to 12 inches of snow, perhaps by the time this is said and done by late Saturday into Sunday. So 65 today, 62 tomorrow, cooling to 60 on Saturday. Another chance of rain looks like next Monday. All right, let's check out the roads now. Let's go to Officer Rick Quintero. Good morning, Officer Rick.
Hey, good morning, Maria. SIG alert affecting your drive on the 15 freeway northbound side to the west 91. A gravel spill cleanup continues there. The right lane's out of commission on that transition road. Your drive through the 91 heading west, also very busy getting away from the 15. 57 at Orangewood heading out of the Orange County area, northbound side. Definitely heavy in traffic. That's coming towards the southbound, heading away with no activity to report. Tony and Lisa, back to you.
Officer Rick, thank you. 6:53.
A grim warning and a call to action from President Obama. The editorial he wrote in one of the country's top newspapers. Plus,
a shocking new development in the story of the Christmas Eve massacre in Covina when a landlord is now demanding from some surviving family members. And topping our morning rundown, a new call to action. President Obama says failure to act on an economic recovery package could lead to a lengthier recession that could be irreversible. His warning comes in an editorial in today's Washington Post. Obama writes that more jobs, savings, and homes are lost with each passing day.
okay, let's go ahead and look at the big board. Wall Street, we're opening down 100 points, and Wall Street was headed for a lower opening today after getting hit by yet another bad reading on the economy, a massive jump in jobless claims. We have a 26-year high, Tony.
Meanwhile, the family of one of the victims in that Christmas Eve massacre in Covina is being sued for unpaid rent. The landlord claims Alice Ortiz broke the lease on her Upland apartment. He wants more than $2,800 now. The family's lawyer says he is asking the landlord to reconsider on moral and ethical grounds.
It's kind of a hard one, see, because you look at that complex. It's kind of a big complex, and you think maybe...
It's a tough story.
And the landlord fully understands that they're dead, and that's why they're not paying?
Yes, presumably.
Presumably. It doesn't make sense, though. But, yeah, it's a crazy story.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We'll be covering it and complicating it as we go along. Good morning to both of you. Good morning, everybody. Andy McDowell will be with us in the 8 o'clock hour. And from the reality show Sober House and Celebrity Rehab, the beautiful Amber Smith is here. We've got news, weather, traffic, sports. Dorothy, Julian, we hope you right after.
Fox 11 News is sponsored by Infiniti, luxury cars that inspire at every turn.